This tree was a victim of the drought, so I decided to cut it down with an axe, a dull axe, which was an exercise in futility. I had to get the chainsaw out. This is Ben and Bo helping me to dig a hole for the cistern. They helped with about the first 2 feet, and then I dug the remaining 4 feet. It was all sand, so it wasn't too hard to dig. Got a nice circular hole with a flat bottom. I decided to use a septic tank as a cistern because it was cheap, about $600 delivered, and I could put it in the ground. A lot more affordable than a plastic tank that you could put in the ground. So I've got some rainwater collected. Now I'm transferring it from the outside tank into the sand filter. And then I use another pump to transfer it from the sand filter to the cistern outside. I actually don't need the pump, it'll siphon down into the lower tank, but the pump gets it started. I also had a paper filter installed on the line to clean out some of the sediment. There is, however, a big problem with the concrete tank that I should have anticipated, and I'm going to have to fix later on. And that is the concrete itself is leaching into the water, the chemicals and minerals in the concrete. This is rainwater before it's been filtered. It's got a little bit of scum on the top, but that's just because it's been sitting for several months. But it's actually quite clean. According to my total dissolved solids gauge, it's only about 15 or 16 parts per million. However, when I measure this water, which comes directly from the concrete cistern, the dissolved solids go up to 126 parts per million times 10. If you can see on the gauge there that the blinking indicator indicates 10 times. And that's way too dirty to run through my reverse osmosis filter or even my hot water tank. If I run it through the reverse osmosis filter, which I don't really want to do, it comes out at about 178 or 180 parts per million. The EPA maximum is 500 parts per million, and that's not even considering bacteria and viruses and other stuff. The first thing you need, though, is clean gutters, and these aren't very clean. This year we've had plenty of rain, but the previous 2 years have been the worst drought ever, and it's been hard on the trees, and this one is another casualty. A windstorm broke it in the middle. I couldn't figure out how to cut it safely, so I just left it, and then about a week later it fell down further on its own. I hooked a chain up to it and pulled it down, although a V8 would have been a lot better than a 4-cylinder, but it still did the job. And I was able to salvage some of it, and I made some fence rails, 2x4s. I got 4 2x4s and a 4x4 out of this piece. Altogether I made about 30 fence rails of oak 2x4s. I found the railroad ties locally for pretty cheap. Stuck them all 3 feet into the ground. It's a lot of work building a fence this way.